All right, hey guys, in this particular video, we're going to just talk about how we solve exponential equations. And so remember, we talked a little bit in previous videos last week about inverse operations, how you undo equations where you have of course, a variable in the exponent. And then that's what we're looking at here. We have 7 to the power of x equals 34. So if I want to solve this equation for x, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the log base 7 of both sides. So I have the log base 7, and then notice that 7 to the power of x goes in parentheses equals the log base 7, and then notice that 34 goes in the parentheses. And so I'm going to take this all the way through. Now the nice thing on the left side of the equation is by doing this, that completely takes the log base 7 and 7 to the power of away. It leaves you just with the x, and you have, that's what your answer is, x equals the log base 7 of 34. Okay, now the reason that I'm doing this is that when I solve this equation, I might need to use the change of base formula. And so when I use the change of base formula, the reason I'm telling you to do this is that you might need to put it in the calculator. And of course, the calculator that you might have at home might not be as fancy as the one that we have at school. So if you just want to use the calculator on the phone, you can use the scientific mode, but you would need to use the change of base in order to get the result. And so what you would do there is you would put in x equals, well, you wouldn't put even the x equals in, you would put the log base 34 divided by the log base of 7. And you'll notice that on this answer that I put in just now, it doesn't have the 7 in the base. And the reason it doesn't have the 7 in the base is, of course, you use the change of base formula, but the reason it doesn't have a number is that any log that you don't put a number in there, it is understood that that's log base 10. Okay, and so when we solve the problem, we end up getting approximately 1.812. That's what you would get when you put that in the calculator. And then, of course, if you would like to check your work, you could put the 1.812 into the exponent. So you would put 7 to the power of 1.812, you would get 33.98. The numbers go on and on, so the more numbers you put in, the more precise you are with the answer, the closer and closer you would get to 34. But that answer there is approximately 34. So that's just a little bit of a review of what you would need to do to solve an exponential equation.